to the Villages Theater Company's annual presentation of our Lifetime Membership Awards. This particular award was something we began about 4 or 5 years ago when we decided that it was time to recognize some of our members who have been with us for a really long time, some of them since the inception of this particular group. And later on, it also became an award for people who we felt had done more than that might be required in helping and the group and working on our shows and so forth. Some of our past membership recipients that I checked out are Gail Bauman, Joanna Brand, George Del Monte, Zoe DeGesire, Pat Ellis, Deanne Hickok. She was given the award in memory of her husband Roger. Carolyn Hoffman, Ken Hoffman, Shirley Knight, Walter Martin, Maury Mudrick, Jack Petro, Jan Petro, Judy Pryor, Rudy Ruckert, Kent Schroeder, Jan Wagner, and Sylvia Whitney. Today we have 3 more people, 3 more members who are going to join this illustrious group, or so to say. And the first one I'd like to honor today is Jan Badia. Jan says that she was never really interested in theater, but her husband was. So since she was a good wife, she helped by joining the local community theater. That way she could see her husband once in a while when he was involved in a show. So she learned how to mix paints, and she did props, and she worked backstage, dressed people when needed, handled ticket sales, and so forth. And she stayed out to all hours at cast parties, which was the most fun of everything. And then she and her husband Jim moved to the Villages. And she initially joined the Way, Way, Way Off Broadway group and did many of the same things that she did back in Des Plaines, Illinois. Except for one exception. She was somehow coerced to actually go on stage because they were desperate, she says. This also convinced her that she never wanted to do that again. Then she met Jan Wagner and Jan Petro, and between the 3 of them, they started designing and making costumes for the various theater groups in the Villages. She was, again, learning how to dress people, and when Judy Pryor was looking for people to learn how to put microphones on and off the various actors in different shows, she decided that this was something she could also do. So she attended workshops and started working with that group. She says she loves working with the people at the Villages Theater Company and hopes to do more in the future, and so do we. Jan is someone who has been very helpful. She's always backstage working every single show, and certainly, I know personally, she was one of my dresser during a bad year for Tomatoes, and without her I never would have gotten back onto the stage when I needed to. So please sit in your living rooms and give a round of applause for Jan Badia.
Thank you. That was quite an introduction. I just want to thank Judy Pryor and the board and everyone else who's involved, and thank you for this great honor. Thank you. When Joyce first emailed me on this, I checked the membership list to see if there wasn't somebody else's name on there that was the same as mine. I didn't think that this was really for me, but I thank you. Thank you very much.
Our second recipient is Bill Tanner. Bill came to the Villages from Bloomington, Illinois, where he worked for Illinois State University. In 1998, as an active member of the Masons, he became involved in the Bloomington Scottish Rites annual production of the American Passion Play, which was performed each spring in a huge theater which they called the Consistory, and which seated over 1,200 people. The play consisted of multiple scenes depicting the life of Christ, from the Sermon on the Mount through his crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension. The play was presented 22 times during Passover and the Easter season, ending the week after Easter. With a stage much larger than anything we have here, they used 57 different drops, which could be as large as 20 feet high and 48 feet long, along with 47 flats and 15 rolling boxes to give differing heights in various scenes. With all of this scenery being used, repairs were in constant need, especially at the end of each year's run. Bill was asked to help with these repairs, and under the tutelage of the company's stage manager, he learned stagecraft. When other outside groups were booked to use the venue, he worked as a stagehand and learned lighting, sound, and the basics of set design. Fast forward to 2002, when Bill's mentor decided to retire and asked Bill to take over the stage manager position. According to him, the next 2 years were a steep learning curve. Beginning in 2004, after the city took over the building, he worked as a stagehand when the city needed them for outside performances coming in, and as stage manager for the Passion Play. He continued this work until 2012, when he and his wife Jackie moved to the Villages. Sometime in the fall that year, he met Judy Pryor, who introduced him to George Del Monte, who at that time was the head of the set construction crew. The first show he worked on was Bedtime Stories in the fall of that year. And I have to say, I directed that show, and he must have hid really well because I don't remember seeing him. But then George was a presence to be there, and he was everywhere. He says that the rest is VTC history, but we know that what he has done with the sets of all our shows is much more than that. I recommend that all of you go to our VTC website and take a look at the photos of our past major productions. There you will see the amazing work that Bill has done for us. We love him and hope to keep him around for a long time. His words of wisdom are, of all the things I have learned over the years, the most important one is, it's the director's play, and it is their vision of the play that's important. My job is to help them make that vision come to life in front of the audience. And so he does. And therefore we award this membership to Bill Tanner.
See my plaque? I got a plaque I'm going to put on my wall. And I got to thank the people that thought highly enough of me to give me this special award. I've gotten many awards over my lifetime for lots of different things that I've done and accomplished, but this one means quite a bit because this is a recognition for my work in around people that matter to me. So once again, thank everybody for this prestigious award.
Our final recipient this year is Arlene Bonner. When Arlene arrived in the Villages from the Washington, D.C. area and joined the Villages Theater Company, we had no idea what kind of resume she brought with her. She is a speech and drama graduate of Hunter College and has also trained with the Shakespeare Theater in Washington. She was or is a member of the Screen Actors Guild after performing in 8 films. She has also worked in television, doing various kinds of promotional recordings, and has done various industrial films for companies such as Xerox and Sally Mae. Her theater experience comes from her work in 12 different plays and musicals in New York, Virginia, and Delray Beach, Florida. When I first came to the Villages, I saw an article in the paper about an upcoming play being performed by the Villages Theater Company. That play was Cemetery Club, and Arlene was playing the main character, Ida. I enjoyed the performance so much that I decided to join the club, so Arlene really brought me to the VTC. In addition to Cemetery Club, Arlene has performed in A Bad Year for Tomatoes, Play On, 12 Angry Jurors, Bedtime Stories, and 45 Seconds from Broadway, all with the Villages Theater Company. She has also appeared in 2 or 3 of our one-acts. Her directing skills have been seen in her productions of Squabbles and Social Security. With all the time, effort, and talent Arlene has given to the Villages Theater Company, she surely is deserving of our Lifetime Membership Award. And thank you so much, Arlene, for joining us and being a part of our group. Arlene.
I'm Arlene Bonner, and I do want to thank everybody that was involved to give me this award. Joyce did a marvelous job of putting it all together, and of course Judy's always so terrific. I have been with the Villages Theater Company for the 12 years that I've lived here. The first thing I did when I moved here was join the theater group, and I'm really glad I did. So it's really, really nice to get an award for something that you love doing. And I love theater more than anything. So thanks again, guys.
Okay, and this concludes our presentation of our Lifetime Membership Awards for 2020. Thank you for viewing our presentation, and we hope to see you all live and in person before too many months more go by. Thank you.